Because I got a lot of scolding from everybody.
Oh, okay. feedback. Not scolding.
Very faithful feedback. So it's like, yeah. So these 5 days, we are going to call what we call emerging the BB LightHouses. Because we don't design from top down. We design from basically like this grounds up. So so it's a slightly different process. So we are emergencing it, and so I don't know who's going to come. I've sent out the invite, like I sent out to Gyok Boon, and then she pointed it to you, you know. So I don't know who's going to come, but we'll run today about an hour, and I'm thinking every day this week is an hour.
Okay.
So so far, what we've the point that where Bilberries Blue is we are basically have started different threads, I would say, communities. So you have Alan and Natasha here. They were in our butterfly camp before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I met Alan when he was 8 and Natasha was 14. So butterfly camp was about 10 years ago when they were born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they're 22 years old. Yeah, so it's really quite amazing.
Yeah.
Not think that today will happen, but that's how we are. We keep going because the children inspire us, and now they're youths. So where was I? So we have Ellen and Tasha at Butterfly Camp. I would say under Happy Heart School. Then we started the sustainability interns. And Ellen, Tasha, and a few of the other children, maybe about 10 altogether, ranging from age 10 to that time, they were about 16, 17, 18, roughly like that. About in 2019, and we had sat down to organize the micro summit. So yeah, so Alan's typing here.
Yeah.
So shifting from camps and programmatic kind of style, we went into like a cohort of belonging. If you can join us if you want. Somebody, if you want. He's HBLing, so
Okay.
yeah. So where was I? So we basically then right from day one, it's all about engagement and participation.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, so very much so. While the kids weren't very interested in all the programs, like cooking programs or whatever program, they really wanted to work. So we created the internship so that they could be part of our work.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've always brought. I've always brought the children to work, and my own children, and the children would come to the house. I think I don't know if Alan remembers. Alan, do you remember the children's stand that we did for World Down Syndrome Day? Yeah, Alan, you please go ahead, share.
Yep.
Alan, you want to share about Butterfly Camp? Tasha too? Can't hear, Tasha.
Yeah. So the butterfly camp, I really had a good time at the butterfly camp.
Oh, that's great.
It was really, really fun for me.
Yeah. So then we had they became interns, and now they are apprentices. So Tasha has graduated from ITE, and Alan has also graduated. Alan, which school do you go to, Alan?
What you say at the end?
Which school did you attend and graduate from?
Well, actually, I attend my LTS.
Pardon?
I attend LTS. LGS.
LCS. What does the LCS stand for?
It's stand for Ecosen.
Emergencing
Yeah.
Garden School.
Garden school.
Garden School.
Mm.
Mhm. And how old were you when you graduated from Emergencing Garden School?
Well, I graduated in 2016.
2016. Wow.
Yeah.
And then since then, what were you doing?
Well, what should you say?
After Emergencing Garden School, where did you go? And what were you doing?
After my school, I went to work.
To work.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you working as?
I'm working in WE, but I cannot process this year.
Oh, you gotta slow it down first, Alan.
Yeah,
Can you say it again? Yes, it's Keith. You want to join the meeting, Keith? Oh, you're going to join the meeting. Okay. Okay, you can sit and listen if you want. No, then you have to be quiet. Okay, that's all. Sorry about that. Okay. So you were working a while, Alan? Yes?
Yes.
Yep. And then after you were interning with us, with BB.
Oh, BBC. I love BBC.
So Alan had indicated he really want to work with BB together with Tasha. Tasha, can you share a little bit about your ITE and then how you became a sustainability apprentice?
I think I was a sustainability, I was a BB intern when I was in year 2 of ITE, and I was studying in ITE growing business and services, and I graduated last year in 2020.
Yeah, very good. Tasha, can you help me to shift your screen so that your face is fully under the screen? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. So then Tasha texted me and said she's ready for work. So then we created this role, sustainability apprentices, and around in January we created another program called Bilberries Blue Youth Stewardship Program. And that program was to essentially link your youth globally. So we started with 12 youth stewards in Malaysia, 12 youth stewards in a village in Dangkalan, in Philippines. And for the Singapore participation, we have Temasek Junior College, but they can't go all 18 months. So, but however it is, we then now have a cohort of youth stewards. And we have already identified the youth stewards from Kenya, from Hong Kong and Japan, and in Singapore as well. And I was sharing with Gyok Boon that we are interested to have, whoever you think is ready to be joining the youth stewardship. And we were looking at Saifullah and Jun Mei, I think. Yeah. So that it's fun, right?
That's right.
That we have something like this, and it's very diverse, and everyone was very, very concerned that is it very academic? Is it unlike we are a school of life.
It's the experience it's going through the experience that really counts.
Yeah, and we go with every youth, every child. So I think there is a diverse enough opportunity online to be able to engage the interactions. Also, it's very driven to what the youth wants to do about their lives and their community. So we're kind of like listening, and we're facilitating through a formation journey first, then the sustainable entrepreneurism journey. And the entrepreneurism journey, UNDP, United Nations Development Plan, SDG Impact Standards is out for enterprises. So we're going to adopt that and embed that. Mr. Key. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to embed that. So that we have essentially formation. So character can only be developed through community, and our character we don't call it program, right? Our character core
development.
the character core is personal stewardship. I mean, we took many years to articulate this even, and then how do you put in the we wanted to overcome the learned helplessness that we see, so we put in entrepreneurism as kind of the driver. So personal stewardship and entrepreneurism, and you can't do it in isolation, you have to do it in community. And we had many discussions about this, how to do it, and in the end it still had to be layered, although we are about birth to lifelong and intergenerational and fully inclusive. It sounds very ambitious, but actually in the simplicity of it, it's almost like a family. So Bernie, who guides us on formation in this piece, she said, in a family, you a toddler sitting there and a 30-something-year-old sitting there, you know, they're receiving the same formation. So why? But as an organization, we still need to kind of layer it. So I had an attempt at mapping this. Let me just do a share screen.
It's good that I guess that what you've shared so far is good that you have this compass. That means you know where you want to go. Now it's really that as you move along that journey, how do you make adaptations to the programs and what you do?
But the earlier years, Ron, was it's not so straightforward. The second we try and conceptualize it too early, we end up going to a place of lived future, and we didn't want that. We wanted something much more authentic than that, and also to break the historical patterns, right? Relating to full inclusion, you know, the historical legacies. Sometimes we want an answer fast, and then as a result, we repeat, right? We repeat, then we are like, why did we end up here again? That was the thing that we were critiquing, and then we end up doing it, you know. So that's really why we are also deliberately going slow. But if you can see the screen, this is where the lighthouse conceptualization is. So today is then 5 series. Okay, so I guess the quickest way is communities of character. So character development being the central driving force, and there has to be a purpose. The purpose is sustainable development as defined by SDG 2030, and then we have our mechanism within it. So if you can see, we were already at this place where we are conceptualizing character and the character framework, and this is the community and context. So you can see we've already tiered all this, and so this work I would say maybe 13 years very specifically for full inclusion, but I think the parenting bit and the education bit probably started so about 18 years, about the age of my daughter. so the deep questioning about human development, I think, in the 21st century living context was really kind of the heart of the work. Why 21st century context? Because I was very keen to be a very hands-on mom, at the same time be very active in my own profession. And so we were weaving a home life, work life integration. So that's how Bilberries Blue originated. Kids came with me to work. So the work life integration component lended itself very well to essentially the full inclusive journey. So now we are formulating it self-determined personal stewardship. And then the opportunities, these was validated by Ellen and Natasha and the youth stewards, you know, and especially Ellen and Tasha, because they've actually been with us, and that's what they are emphasizing for us to make sure we have this. Well, we have the character development and the community. What the youths are seeking is actually to work, but with opportunities, but with good knowledge and skills, and they work very hard at it. I've been giving them quite a lot of work tasks. Yeah. And then organizationally, you can see that we have our own proprietary model called the Economics of Universal Wellbeing. So we've already, the last piece was this UNDP. I was very pleased. They are still in, haven't finalized it yet, but it will be finalized by this year. So once we incorporate that, it's very good. It's very bounded already, the whole system, you know, as to the purpose. Then they can focus on these pieces. Our evaluation mechanism, we thought hard and good about it. The second we go back into the KPI situation, it's very, very hard for the nurturing to work in this context, and we don't want it too early. At some stage, we will also have to have the hard KPIs and all that. But if it's too early, even at the youth level, we find that it truncates the relationship building, the trust space that is needed, the warmth, and basic silliness and goofiness. So what we've done is maybe look at it like this: make art, pedagogical documentation. This is led by our pedagogue expert Washima, you know, and compliance reporting. That's kind of where I come in. So in the end, we do self-evaluation. So if you're a steward, you will have to know how to set your own goals, and you will evaluate. And our ideal evaluation is not so much rewards and punishment kind of thing. It's more, it's looking at the value of your work. So evaluate. So it's Reggio inspired. So once we make art, we learn to have a voice, and our participation is visible. When we then learn something, we can put it in a coherent manner, and where we can then share it, it builds the knowledge of the society that we were a part of. And this part is the accountability part. Even in the micro summit, Ellen and Tasha were looking at how we were doing collaborative sharing and equitable returns for all collaborators. And it has that typical accounting component to it, but it has that more than that, the non-financial and giving imputed value, right, to people's time and materials. So because what we don't want is end up being a charitable model. We are into an empowerment model. So and we don't want to have entitled communities. So we want everyone to know that if somebody's contributing to time, to the work, to the journey, then they have to be recognized. And how do we do that? And valued as well. So that's why the evaluation here is valuing the work that we put in for each other. So this then becomes character through community and sustainable development and strategy map. Okay. You have to give me a second, maybe if you, Ron, you chat with Ellen and Tasha for a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
About this or about their experience, while I handle Keith a little bit for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Second. I'm going to mute.
Yeah. Hi, Ellen.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Well, Ping An is away. So what have you been doing for the past week?
Ooh.
Yeah. Anything interesting that happens during the weekend, or
Well, actually, I say I like reading. I like
okay?
music.
Oh, you listen to music.
Yes, I like listening to music.
Okay, yeah. So for the past week, have you been working on the blueberries work, or? It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Natasha? So have you been working on any blueberries work for the past week?
Well, the past week I did attend one of the Macro Summit.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you
And
do
then
at
I
the
also finished my one of my essays, which is about acceptance.
about?
Yeah.
The essay is about.
Mm.
What was the essay about?
I think it was about acceptance.
Oh, okay. About acceptance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you find the work about writing an
Yeah.
essay?
Yeah, I think it's getting quite interesting for me.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
did the research. How do you do the research?
Not necessarily research.
Yeah.
It's about what I think about acceptance, really.
Okay. So it's really about how you view acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What is it on the internet? Maybe you could share it with me to read it.
Oh, no. It's more like one document.
Oh, okay.
One
It's in a
document.
Word document. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If I have a chance, then I can get to read it.
Okay.
Wonderful, Ron, because we hope to publish all the essays as well. So all the essays are Saif, the co-program director for the youth stewardship, guides them basically on the essay writing and then deepens it. And then once the youth stewards feel that it's ready to be published, we will typeset it and we will publish it. But we haven't really found this mechanism, this platform yet, right? So currently what's happening is they're all sitting in the Google Drive. And as we go along, we will just put it as a PDF file. So, but ideally the vision is that we should be publishing in-house, and so that becomes one of the regular activities. So that's why I think this part here, it's very where we bond and connect our work and then publish it and then set the next piece of work.
Yeah.
So kind of this is like really the cycle. Yeah. Then the imagery that we are looking at now, it's a tree, and Ellen has written something about that, but never mind, can't see it. But we're
I can see it's a tree.
Yeah, so that's Ellen's drawing, and I can't seem to expand it. And it's quite simple. You are the roots, and then you are the trunk. So all the different individuals are the roots, and you have to really ground yourself first. And with nourishment being the soil, and then the trunk, I guess, is our structure. And at some stage you have to find your own way, the branches, you keep being nourished by the leaves, and then you have your flowers. And one of you stewards going to write about how the flower becomes fruit, the transformation. So everybody this week, I'm hoping will contribute to this this framework, this tree. Where we are now is essentially that the root and the soil itself are the nourishment. The trunk is the solidarity of service. Then we have diverse transformations, and I guess together it provides refuge and sanctuary. Yeah, and we couldn't decide how to say this narrative, so we put many inputs from different people already, because we started this journey.
I thought you articulated it quite well just now. The way you described
No,
it.
somehow nobody wants one articulation these days, so we become a, I don't know what this
Okay.
is. It's like I don't know. Somebody had said it very well. One of the
Okay.
somebody from the National Library Board. He's an intern there, and he was listening deep, and then he basically said, maybe it's like about codependence and having this open communal narratives of possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Much more open, you know, but having a tree imagery helping us to form. So we're now getting a lot of inputs. Like after today, if you feel very inspired about anything, please send us something, you know. Yeah, and also help shape us as well. We're very open to that. This is really our corporate governance structure. We have a not-for-profit called One Love Limited, and it's not a charity, but it's a CLG, and it's got in its constitution essentially very much like the objects for charity, but we inserted one word: inclusive. So the purpose of this organization is for fully inclusive humanity, and these are the links that basically shows the historicity of this organization. So it looks very invisible because we were doing the work rather than piling up the documentation, but yeah, the density of the work was really kind of here. We were really doing this. So this was founded in 2014. We also sent boxes to schools in Bhutan, and so the idea is to cut through all the red tape of normal charities and just engage and do the enablement. So for the next 5 years, so this coming 5 years, 2020 to 2025, our economic development plan or sustainable development plan is global stewardship and resilience. So this was studied deeply during the COVID year last year. So we had already done the reimagination. So this year we are actually living it already, dignity of human life. So we hope to start our first BB LightHouse in June. And then a summer school. I was working the timeline just now. Doesn't look like it's going to be 2022, but 2023. But thereon, every year we would want to have a summer school. So right now, I think what's most meaningful, now that we're also seeing another P2HA, right, is to really take the time to solidify ourselves, I think, and see if we can have a few lighthouses in Singapore where Ellen and Tasha can be lighthouse keepers and other youth stewards in Singapore as well. Whether they just participate in the youth stewardship program or whether they come on board as apprentices, can also basically have these places where they can go, and the culture is the same, the setup is the same, and the work that they do will be different, but it's under this kind of framework. So they have the community to basically work with them. The apprentices and the youth stewardship program, we've decided to extend it up to 35 years old. So from 18 to 35 years old, very, very open. Okay. And then anybody else who wants to be stewards, 46 to 100 class, are also still welcome to join us. Yeah. So but we will focus, I think, on the youth stewards. But I think I'm starting to see now with the HBL that we might have to refocus a little bit back to the Happy Heart School as well for the HBL learning for some of the children who might or families who might need more support. But so this is how One Love is. So that's it. And then on Bilberries Blue, which is, I suppose, where the corp is, BB management sit in BB Corp, has this mechanism where there are, this is the silent dancer, this is the kind weaver. So this gives a clue what kind of organization we are. We really go with the art and poetry and emergence. Yeah.
Okay.
So the silent dancer basically holds the copyrights. Basically, all the work that we've published, we decided to free it all. So it's on the YouTube. Last year by December, we, out of our own conscience and watching the world, we realized we decided to free it all, a gift. Yeah, although it's still copyrighted, but it's free. And we have this company here hoping that perhaps it could be the platform where we can coordinate, you know, the good work of maybe the library system, the space management system, the programs, what's the work that is inside the lighthouses. Yeah, so it's more for that kind of intention. And I think there's also an economic empowerment piece where if people have lost their jobs because of COVID or in transition or are so unique that they have to be doing different things from the bell curve, then this is a place where we can actually provide that entrepreneurism as well. So we have actually 12 archetypal sustainable enterprises, and yeah, they've all been formed.
Oh, they've all been formed. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So this, remember, is an emergent. We are emergent. We're emergencing things. So the flower emerged from the lesson of sustainable entrepreneurism. So I've been on this. So I'm the co-founder of Bilberries Blue. So it's been 20 years. Life.
Yeah, it's a very long journey.
Yeah. So it didn't come all at the same time. It emerged sequentially, and then by 2019 we could see the pattern, and we realized it's actually sustainable development. Although we couldn't even get the articulation until maybe about last week. It's quite interesting because the world was also evolving, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So these three BBPL, TLZ is really the ESG, economy, knowledge, development. Then we understand we need the support and transition platforms to catch those who are vulnerable or have sudden crisis. And this has to be not for profit. So this one, maybe we were hoping some venture entrepreneurism, we gave that up.
Okay.
Because we couldn't, in moral conscience, hold our knowledge. So we decided to free that. So, but it's not regularized as an CLG. It is still a private limited. So what we've done is insert a council here. Yeah, for pedagogy or authority or possibilities of differences, essentially, right? Yeah, and of course, last year's learnings from all painful observations of many societies globally showed us that, you know, we can't take that for granted. So we've got to talk about it, right? We've got to talk about it. We've got to work at it, and we've got to commit to it, right? Full inclusion and differences and all that. So this is where we are. We have regularized it like this. So kind of like a twin engine, but so that we keep also still in the private sector. One of the things that we've learned is if we don't keep ourselves in the private sector, there's the funding may completely dry out here.
Yeah.
And it's true enough. We can't get funding. All the CSR funds pretty much have all
during this period.
Yeah. So we've got to make our own, and this is what we've said to the youth. We've got to learn how to create the economies. So we have food forest farm in sustainable farming. Not all of them are owned by BB. Some are kind of co-founded. Some we have other stakeholders. But the work project opportunities are RS does. So there is a rainforest lodge in Cameron
Malaysia.
Highlands in Malaysia,
Yeah.
but all hospitality is gone. So
Yeah.
gone, no business here. We have an art company. We hope, and we used to do art in community art in education quite a bit. So I think it was already set up as a social enterprise anyway in 2007. But we now have a Shopify. We're hoping we can get into the e-commerce learning and maybe have what we call charcoal studios or cottage studios.
Yeah.
You know, so even in the BB LightHouses, we should be able to make things and provide that kind of learning opportunity or commercial opportunities. And the summer school is the open, exciting unknown, I think, which we're all going to design together.
Yeah.
So this one I spoke about. This one is more like adults sitting around saying what's the right thing to do for continuity, you know, in a nutshell. It's kind of sustainability, social sustainability, environmental sustainability. So it's, and don't fight, right? So it's kind of like a peace council, I think. Don't fight and get on with it, because you can't take too long making decisions either. We don't have anything on energy yet, but there is a company already set up. There is a company in Malaysia called the Forest Keepers. So we have a new intern last year joined us from New Zealand. He is into biodiversity and environmental. So I think we're still very new with this. We've been very focused on the food piece. There is also a township development project that we're involved in, which I think was probably the reason why all this came about, to really figure, if you really build a township from scratch, then what is the software, right? What is the content? So I think we have this to keep us focused and not be in despair in the next 5 years.
It'll be a very busy 5 years.
I think the answer out of COVID, I think, is to keep busy, right? And keep fruitfully busy. So I have another annual plan to show you. Then after that, we can chit chat about what you think. Okay, it's up. So I've written this. So that was the map, right? The strategy map. So now we have to put it into time. So we're kind of a character. Now we're at space and communities. What kind of BB Lighthouse? What would it look like? And then eventually we will have it digitalized, and then we will meet every year in Cambridge globally, all our friends. So everybody become friends, right? So simple plan, right? keeps us going.
I don't know what's behind it. A lot of effort behind it.
To be very honest, I don't want to say this anymore already. Otherwise, they'll all get very sad. I wanted to close it all down, to be very honest.
Wow.
It got really hard. It got really hard last year. It got really hard around here.
It's about spreading it and prioritizing up to a certain point.
I don't know why. I think because we lost our space, the anchor space, BB Studio. So I thought maybe this is it. Just close it all and be done with it. You know, give it all away. But then I couldn't.
I always believe it's the experience that counts. The experience that you went through for the past 10 years, right, at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went past that already.
Okay.
And then by April, I went and catalog. We had something called BB Open Catalog, documented 5 years of BB Studio. And then we created BB Open Studios. And of course, Alan and Tasha's energy turning up and saying, we gotta keep going. I think we're like, okay. Vegan's getting old, you know. But they are like,
you need the youth energy.
Yeah, the youth energy was woo. So they revitalized us. So we started to really examine the funding models because it's still very tough. So we created another series to look at the funding models, hoping to maybe get grants now, rather than trying to just be on a earning model. It got too hard. It got really hard without the grants. So, but in 2020, you can see we basically start to write everything down into a methodical threads of knowledge, right? So we figured out our COVID-19 plan, the tube, the pop. So all these things we figured out. By December, we started to design the youth. So January we started doing. So we kind of track things that we do like this, and it's quite simple. Everybody can see it. Although you're very lucky because you're the first person to see it together with Tasha and Alan, because I just finished this like half an hour ago. Before that, they were all very upset with me because I wouldn't do this, and I refused to do this when it was too early, because it would have tightened it too much. It was not complete. Some things were missing. The last piece was really character through community. And we look at the Templeton Foundation grant competition. They have a competition called Character to Community, and we learned from the framework there and understood how to do what we are about. So we are actually developing communities of character. So you can see then, say now that you're here, you would be considered a collaborator. You know, or maybe you're a visitor, you're a guest right now. As a collaboration, I think we will go much more into agreements and all that, and the projects. Stewards are a few of us who have multidisciplinary background coming together, essentially contributing to different pieces of BB. Apprentices are Ella and Tasha for now. Interns, like I said, I mentioned, and then we have the youth stewards, and then the Happy Heart School is 0 to 12. So I think you will involve more parents and families, the siblings, the extended families. It all comes together, the caregivers and the children. So, and we hope we can actually take this to integrate with the schools as well, because that's the holistic belonging of a child, right? It has to work. It has to work all across, right? You can't have one component of the child's universe not be supporting the child. So that's the journey that I've gone through for 13.5 years, that I've understood. So then, going forward, we're kind of here now. We are now here, May, Emergencing BB LightHouses. We're still packing the studio, still finishing up what the corporate compliance and legality would look like. It looks like we would just have a simple development guidelines and plans, and this will be the annual plan. It's too difficult to give the concrete, and then as we go along, we can refine the concreteness. But we're hoping that we can set up at least 6 to 7 Bilberries Blue lighthouses. Not big and onerous projects. More like whatever that's there, then it's just more like our presence. So like I put SG Enable here. You know, it's more like how can we come in with something and be present in it. Can be a room, it can be even a conceptual, it can even be a digital space, you know. But as long as we have no, I think digital will be hard. It has to be physical.
So, yeah.
So it has to at least have Ellen and Tasha be able to come in as a lighthouse keeper to kind of keep the continuity. And then each of the space collaborators will also have a few of the members of the community join into the BB Lighthouse project. So that's how I envisage it. But of course, we're open for it evolving, you know.
Yeah, different
so,
lighthouse might have
because
different,
every lighthouse is different.
Yeah.
And, but
because the community might be different. Yeah.
Yeah, and then every community can, for now we will ring fence. When Singapore is in the cruise, we can have some interacting, but because of COVID, it's very tough. But these two shall pass, right? So 2021 will also pass. 2022, hopefully we come out with more the vaccine and all that. Then as we come out of COVID, then we can. But you see, what will be beautiful is because we will be connected through Zoom and all that. So people will be very keen to meet their friends in person when they're able to. So we're kind of like putting a project of hope, right? Yeah. So that people make new friends, you know, and just see different things coming out. So this is the whole idea. And then what we'll do is we will observe the whole thing for the safety. The safety is and well-being is the most important. And then NLB has said that they will help us guide Ellen and Tasha to log, how to log all our resources. Well, Ellen and Tasha BB Studio got a lot of things, so you won't need to do everything. But there'll be something, and you don't need to do it all at the same time, you know. So there's something that we do that is very fruitful. We will log and we have a lot of books, toys, art equipment, like baking, like kitchen studio and all that, you know. And then we'll continue to generate our own publication and documentation and deepening that as many facets of either evaluation or accountability or knowledge development, you know. So it'll be like this. So then the collaborators will also start growing the density of the work, right, with us. So that's how I see the collaborators also will start to bond, and they want to publish. The lighthouse keepers, the trust council will regularize because it's new. So a lot of people don't want to make the decisions on it. So I'm going to have to do some arm twisting and with some lawyer friends and say, please write us a precedence. You know, this is what we want. Write it for us, right? In the corporate governance framework. So that would be quite interesting. Then the apprentices. So every group essentially is a community or a program, and then we develop that into a program so that it's replicable in structure anyway, not in totality, right? In the substance, and then there is always something that we do together. So I think the something that we do together here is the lighthouse. And then there's some place that we all go together and have fun is the summer school. Yeah, you know, it's basically bonding. So you can see that everything all has a development plan, program development. So that whoever is involved in that program, you get a say in how you want to develop the program. That's how we're creating the sense of belonging. The empowerment is right there. Then after that, you have to create what projects you want to do together, and we have one big audacious one. You know, that is either for the group itself or for all. Okay, so that's how, and then having it done all in the right accountability, governance, and etc. So transparency is our key kind of anchor. So visibility of work. So, but the flexibility for all those people who are participating is also there. you know, some are still in school, some they have other commitments, but they still like to participate. Then we always find a way. But once they put out their hand, then whatever they say they are going to do, they have to commit to doing it. So we don't say, oh, you're behind, or okay, we do say that, but we don't whip like in an organization. But we have the discipline. You can see that every month that, like for the youth stewards, there is something that they are reflecting on. So this is, there are certain milestones to this journey of possibilities that we've set as well. So Happy Heart School, last year we didn't do very much. So hopefully this year we can be engaged back the mummies and maybe start the play dates. Hopefully by December, we're not sure. So this is our plan for 2021. So 2022 then is essentially then observing all that and seeing how we can create like these kind of management system or operating system. We don't even know how it's going to look like. It's very different. It's no longer in the IS world already, right? So it's either apps or, so we don't know, but I just put it like that. And the people who know how to do this will kind of advise us, but I just put it like this as part of the conceptualization of what's going to happen. Then you can see we will do observation, reflection, design, development. That's how we're going to do it. Then implementation. So everything is like, it's just very methodical, whatever we build. But whatever it is, we have to build before we get into Cambridge, because we have to make sure everybody is safe, okay, in the global travel, okay? And then we will have this. And then after the 4 weeks in Cambridge, we would then also have our validation of what's real for us. And then by 2024, 2025, the youth stewards who are with us, 4 cohorts, can start setting up the BB LightHouses. They may want to set it up earlier, we don't know, but this is kind of the plan. By then, we would know each other quite well already and know the community quite well and be able to support essentially this dream. So they will need to set it up, and I reckon it would take 2 years. So we should be by 2025 have some lighthouses in Singapore and some lighthouses in the world. We are not out to conquer the world. We are just very humble. We just do what we can, and small is beautiful. And a real friendship for us is more important than anything. And very important message to send to the young is making your own livelihood, you know, doing it with the dignity and the respect and honesty, right? Simple, yeah. So that's us and our grand dream in a nutshell.
Yeah, sounds very interesting. I think it's very exciting actually. how you actually string everything up together, that it's not really in silo. Because every single slice actually contributes to each of the programs by itself.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a work of a lot of people, lot of dialogues. It's also a big lesson for myself because I like to have things out very fast and then just do, you know. But I'm glad I got a lot of scolding. Nobody.
Slow down.
Yeah, slow down.
Okay.
So
take a step back. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're kind of here. I feel good. Maybe you can share with us what is it that you do at SG Enable, and then your thoughts.
Yeah, so actually, just broadly speaking, so my team, one key part of the work that my team does is engaging organizations on accessibility issues. That means partnering organizations, for example, like transport operators, to look at accessibility of their MRT stations by bus interchange. So we do partner organizations on projects on accessibility. And of course, part of the work is also to advocate about consumer inclusiveness. So it's not, SG Enable has quite a big function on employment, right? So now, recently, for the past 1 year, we're trying to start up about engaging businesses to have inclusive products and services as well. So it's about engaging these businesses to raise awareness. And the other part of the second part of the team, definitely a part of accessibility is on assistive technology. So I have a very specific team that is the techie guys to really look into technologies. Then the third slice is really about innovation. Truthfully, frankly, personally, I don't like the word innovation. It's so vague, right? So what do you do in innovation? Yeah. So to me, it's really looking into cross-cutting issues to really look at what are the gaps in between silos, to really be able to identify those gaps and work with partners to address these gaps. So that's why when I think Gyok Poon mentioned to you about the site in Jurong, right? So that's why Gyok Poon asked me to look into the site and try to bring different partners to see how we can actually leverage the site's geographical position, right? And also the opportunity that it gives to see who are the suitable partners to bring into the site. Yeah, about connecting to the Jurong community, because the idea was actually mooted by the grassroots there. So if the grassroots help, there's an opportunity there to connect with the community in Jurong. So not just about the family staying there, but also the businesses there, because Jurong has like the business park, the industrial estates. So that's why we thought that it's a project that we can move into to try to see whether we can do certain placemaking and enable partners to be there. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
then the last part about innovation is about support. I'm not sure if Gyok Poon shared with you about this Enabling Lives Initiative grant.
She mentioned, but I didn't get what is.
Yeah, so this is administered by my team as well. So it's really a fund to seed funding for prototypes and proof of concepts, yeah, of any ideas out there that has not been tried in Singapore before. So it's very much focused on trying out ideas. So it doesn't need to be the first of its kind in the world of idea, but we also will fund projects that the idea is actually working well somewhere else. That is about bringing it to Singapore to adapt to the local context. So we do fund projects that's like this as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So
yes, we are looking for grants.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
always
so
very innovative.
correct. Yeah. So I can share with you more details. But actually, I saw a large part of your work is about developing the library system, about digitalization, right? About how to bring it online and share the knowledge with the community as well. So actually, IMDA also just launched a fund called Digital for Life. So it's about how to leverage on digital solutions to promote inclusion, also digital inclusion as well. So I can send you some details on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was also a recent fund that the president challenged. They decided to give it to IMDA to administer. Actually, the fund is from President's Challenge. Then they gave a certain amount to IMDA to administer. Yeah. So I can share with you later. Email.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So you're right. We as I was looking at this BB Lighthouse, it is placemaking actually, but it's we have put in full inclusion as the core, SDG impact also as the core. But we are I think we have that entrepreneurism piece, right?
Yeah,
it's an innovation comes with that, right?
Correct.
It's very much of our culture, and I think maybe that entrepreneurial mindset is what we're seeing may get people out of some of the stickiness that you see in some inherited legacy communities, you know, whatever the poverty trap is, or specifically even like special needs, right? Yeah, we try and move away from mentioning that, but I think it's hard for this moment not to mention some of the specifics, descriptors, right? But what we've seen is maybe it's poverty of expectations.
Yeah.
and it's very cultural. And I spoke at length with Gyokbun and Prema and all the other special ed teachers or special ed education therapists, doctors. As a mom with a child with trisomy 21, I find that it is really. I wish we can just scrub everything.
Yeah, I think it's
a mindset thing, and the mindset is so heavy that, and the fear just gets. I don't know what it is.
But I think it's taking a step. It's about how can we actually develop a safe space, in a sense,
so
to
maybe
take that first step.
A safe space that doesn't have all these narratives. The narratives are not helpful. Definitely for a new mother or old mother like me. It's tiring, right? And we don't want to engage those narratives anymore. To be very honest, it doesn't help. So what do we want? If we say a safe space, we want a new narrative. We want a narrative that doesn't have to reference cultural limitations or historical limitations. About
the bureaucratic limitations as well. The usual, okay, if I need to do this, then what am I promising as a delivery?
Or oh no, this is a trajectory for us all and all that. You don't know, right? You don't know, and we just want to stay very open. So that's why BB Lighthouse is about keep open, And if you free all this stuff out, right, it's like, whew, suddenly you can breathe. So like you say, safe space and enabling, right? So enabling is quite an interesting word that you have committed to, right?
Correct. So just to share, like the Jurong site, we are also engaging a partner called Social Collider. So they are actually keen in the space, and they are actually managed co-working spaces for social enterprises. So we haven't really got deeper into discussion with them of the model that they want to have in Jurong, because like I said, it's about can we create a space that is not too scary in terms of that people are willing to take a risk to try things out. So, and definitely like I said, safe space that people are willing to try things out. So we are in discussion.
How big is your Jurong space?
20,000 square feet.
Huh?
No, but Social Collider is not managing the whole space. So actually, since January, I've started to actually engage certain partners. So we've gotten training and employment is definitely a big part. Can I?
Do you have an industrial space?
Sorry?
Do you have an industrial space?
No, it's not industrial space. So it's more of, it used to be an old polyclinic, community hospital type. So it's more of that. So the space that we can use it for is really, we've actually engaged a cafe operator. So they are also on board. So they are into training and employment for persons with disabilities. Then we got there's a community, because I was saying the site was actually from the grassroots idea. So we have this community called Tasik Jurong. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. They are quite a big community group grassroots community group in Jurong. So they also occupy quite a big space there to run their programs. And we have certain different social service agencies coming in to run their programs as well. Because one part of the idea was that those who are running in the east and have clients in the west, so our space actually provide opportunity them to branch out their services so that the clients don't have to travel so far, and the distance will not be discouraging to the clients.
If you heard my presentation or sharing the last 40 over minutes, right? What was coming to you?
So definitely the BB studio, the studio lighthouse, right? The BB lighthouse. Definitely, I think is one way that that's why I guess Gyokbun also shared that it's a possibility to have a lighthouse over there. I think the approach is I have to, because I was saying Social Collider will be managing the co-working space. So it's probably something that I need to talk to them further to see what is the model they are adopting there. To
I think we would love that because they will take care of all these space management issues.
Yeah, correct.
Which actually I don't really want to get into.
Yeah.
Even filling up the whole safe entry thing and all that, right?
So it will be all managed by them.
So I think where our core is, where I think for BB Lighthouse, how we would start is we will ask ourselves, right? When we enter into that community, what does the community need from us? This is our first entry point. So
definitely, I think when things more or less firm up in the next couple of months, I can share with you who are the partners that sign to be on board. They can think about the potential connection that you can make. For example, like I said, there's Tasik Jurong, there's the cafe operator, there's certain SSAs there. There's also because the idea grassroots center to provide some community programs. So we also got a pottery workshop. So someone who run pottery programs to be there as well.
Yeah, we don't really want to replicate activities, right? So I think our core strength is
it's related to ideation, I think.
Yeah.
Because you definitely have a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
You are able to bring the pieces together. I see that presentation is like maybe from one contact and the connection you have in Jurong, then you can actually connect up and try to ideate.
Yeah, to make things from impossible to possible. I think that's one of our strength. And then we come with joy as well. I think that's the other thing. And we don't like to rescue. A bit lazy that way. It's very hard work, and it doesn't work anyway. We realize. I think maybe coming with non-judgment almost, openness. But hope, I think, and we have a lot of mirth. You know, it's quite crazy. I haven't met the rest of us today. I was quite serious already, but when we work, I think the joy of life is kind of one of the centrality. And then if you're actually with Ellen and Tasha a lot, you will find they're always the happiest people.
That's why I say it's the energy. That's why I thought like the BB LightHouse, if like for example, either Ellen or Tasha is there, it brings in energy and make the connection. I think it's really about connecting to the partners who might be there. And from presentation, I think a huge part of the engine for the next couple of years, I see is really from your youth stewardship program and also apprentice like Ellen and Natasha. So what the energy that it brings to the community and the connection they could make there. I think that's really
the youth keep coming up from the babies, you know. Their energy is even we had this inclusive art workshop and exhibition, and Ellen and Tasha were part of it, and they were working alongside the 5-year-olds.
Really babies.
And the 5-year-olds were from when I first met them when they were 2 years old. We even did even the earlier days around 2012. We were actually doing infant programs. My dream is to go right into the labor ward and break the balloons, and we did that. We did programs that greeted the parents, and Keith was in his cowboy costume, you know, and Beth, my older one, went to break balloons. So we're the ballooners, you know. Joy, celebrate life. Whatever happens, it's tough. I mean, we also listen and help process the grief quite well. I think our space is that kind of permission to be human. People expect so much from us. I think first someone from TP came, Makerspace, Marcus, is in industrial design, and he said, I said, can you use your industrial design and look at BB Studio, right? So he came for about half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Then he said, so he summarized it very well for me. He said it's a home with an invisible system, and you saw the system, kind of semicolon safe haven. So I think we want to stay in that space rather than too much into the doing, although we can do as well. But I think this space is harder than what anyone thinks, to be open and allow the people to process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we bring everybody back to a very nice nice space, you know? Yeah.
Correct. And the community there. Yeah. So I think I'll probably be able to finalize the partners who commit to the site in the next couple of months, hopefully by June. Then I'll definitely share it with you.
By June?
Yeah. End June, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can start our visualization.
Yeah, correct. So these partners are like so-called the anchor tenants. So they are big. They occupy big spaces over at Jurong. Yeah, so I'll let you know so that at least you know what's the community that's going to be there. Then you can decide, okay, is the space there suitable for
we will have to be suitable, and because for us it's our work is to be there when we're needed.
Okay.
So there is no suitability.
Yeah. Then once Social Collider has presented the business model to us, and if it's agreed between us and Social Collider, then I also can share with you how the space will be operated.
If you think about us, we are just the silence, the counterpoint to the business, to the achievement oriented and all that. Although we are very disciplined in our accomplishments, but that's not the measure of our who we are. We are about who we are, our values as our unique individuals as humans. So it's got to have some kind of calm, some kind of system, but dignity. It's really kind of our ultimate guiding point. So it's kind of quiet, and I think for a community like Jurong community, and it's very I can feel that the energy is people are asking for a lot of things, right? People are needing they want their answers, right? Then maybe we are there to say you have to first calm down first, and then you have to work through your own answers. You know, in a way that it's real, I think. So maybe the library systems, maybe silence. Enjoy silence and acceptance. So Tasha can read her acceptance essay there.
Yeah, and it's important to observe first as well. Observation.
Yeah, we're just there to observe it, because I think the Jurong site is it's not for us to be active. It's for us to listen. Because it's a place where people are wanting their voices to be heard. So it's not for us to keep shouting about us or with them. You know, I that's my sense of what this would be. I don't know what it is, but
now it's busy. It's like busy bee, like a lot of training and employment programs, community programs.
I think you're doing a lot already. They know what they want. They know what they want to do. You know. So I think if you're there, it's just a nice sweet place that can come and have a cup of tea and eat cake, and you know.
Correct.
And like you say, ideation. What we are doing also very much is awareness into nature. I think if it's close to any of the gardens,
it's close to the Jurong Lakeside Garden, so it's about 5 minutes, 5 bus stops away from Lakeside MRT.
Wow!
So the next door is a Jurong Secondary School. Then behind the secondary school is already the Lakeside Garden. I think you call it
Wow.
Lakeside Garden, right?
Yeah.
If I can remember.
One of the things I'm very curious about is really an art space. That's why I asked whether it's an industrial, you know. We've always looked at all the art spaces and we don't think that we actually have any art space here.
Yeah, so,
because we want an art space where you can really get yourself very messy and then you have a shower next to it, you can shower off, and especially for sensory work. For the kids who need and youth and they continue as adults who will need sensory work, is to have this kind of art space.
Yeah, so I think TASIC is one of the major programs that TASIC is running is music and art programs. So definitely there's a connection that can make with TASIC Jurong. Yeah, so they deal with youth at risk as well. So a big part of their programs is on music and art. Yeah.
Yeah, but we want one that is where you can really like paint yourself like Blue Man's Group like that, you know, and there's flash and stuff. And then after that, go clean it all up, okay?
Yeah.
And then after that, sit down and be really, really like focused in doing your work. So it's I also feel that there is a need for that all that tinkering as well. So, but I'm sure everybody has that already. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But these were from the art side of BB, the artists have really indicated this is something that they need. And we also have a paper called art and space and place for creative exploration. So maybe I can send that to you.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of concept papers, and then we have then you saw the 2 presentations. So this is kind of like our body of work. This is how we do ideation. We will write the concept papers, and then after that have all those people who are involved read and respond to it, and then when it comes to actually setting up the space itself, it's like, yeah, today we go and then pop, everybody seems to know what to do kind of thing. It's because we've done all the deep learning and the deep thinking together early on. I think for these 2 months, this is going to be what it is. So we need space, we need the community. More diverse, the better. Then we can understand much better the needs. We don't want to stay in our heads.
Yeah.
We need the funds. And the community comes with the partners already. So essentially, this is what BB needs.
So based on that, just to summarize, so based on the slides you presented, I'll think through what are the different grants available around Singapore that besides the ERI grant that my team runs, maybe there's other funds that might match up to. So I'll follow up with the email on that. Then for the space, like I said, I'll share with you once the partners committed. A big part of it will be the social collider model, how they're going to work with the different social enterprise, how much they're going to charge them for the space and all these things. So this is something that I have to work out with social collider because they're managing the co-working space. So once that one is worked out, I can also share with you then. If okay, then
so the space comes with the community. So I think the other piece that we were really curious was whether Saifullah and Junming can be our youth steward.
Yeah, I'll definitely check on that. We'll mention it to me.
Yeah. So maybe with starting with just the 2 of them very concretely, it doesn't have to be immediate. We have a cohort 2, hopefully. I don't know, every time all the lockdown happens in all the other countries, so we can't. But so far, tentatively slated for August. If that's too soon, then they can join the cohort number 3, which is most likely going to be next year already.
Do you have some sort of a write-up or a summary of what the program is about, so I can at least share it with them?
Yeah, we have a write-up, but we also have all our cohort 1 videos already on YouTube already.
Maybe you can give me the links, then I can
Yeah,
direct them.
then
Rather than I try to say what you said, then it's definitely lost in translation.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can see who, I think what they're interested in is see who else is there. And there is something called the 4 Ws that we made all the youth stewards make a little short presentation about who they are as an introduction. So you have the cohort 1, and then the cohort 2 have already sent in. Some of them have already sent in. Then they have a better idea. So it's essentially just journeying with other global youth stewards. The first month is 4 times, that means just once a week, more on like orientation, getting to know each other. Then we will start just once a month only. And there is then the milestone. And then somewhere or somehow we will all end up in the summer school.
That one is
that is like
evolving.
the grand plan. But in terms of their commitment, it's not too much, but it depends on how much they want to participate and push themselves. If they have more time and all that, so far when we've created a work schedule 2 weeks for the Temasek Junior College students, youth stewards, depending on what the program partner thinks that might benefit the youth stewards. So for this, if we partner, it will be partner with SG Enable. So we actually partner with organizations rather than having individuals. For at least the younger ones. The older ones, I think we can just engage directly with them. Some people have already indicated they saw the program. They say, "Do you have one for us?" Those millennials and all that. You say, "I think we need one too." So
maybe you can share just forward me the information that I can share with both of them and see whether they
I will send you some information on BB Studio. There's a catalog, the open catalog. You can just look through it and you can be able to see some of the things. I think it will give the visual to the presentation you saw today. Then I'll send to you the BB Youth Stewardship. Then I think these are the 2 information I owe you. Then with that, you should be able to see. Then today's slides, would you like them as well? I can send them to you too.
Yeah, sure, if it's not an issue.
Yeah. So the annual plan and the Alan and Tasha, do you have any questions for Ron? No? Do you have any comments or responses? It's a very long meeting.
Actually, I enjoyed today. I like the meeting so well,
You like to make it?
Yes.
You like it? Yeah. Which part do you like?
Many parts. But actually, I like all. But I like all this you have made today. Very nice.
Very nice. Wow, Ron got the. Do you know they're interviewing you, Ron?
Oh, is it? That's why I passed the interview.
I passed the interview. Alan and Tasha have a secret that I don't know. They just, I think this one can, cannot. They say cannot.
By the way, so your name is Ron, right?
Sorry?
Your name is Ron?
Yeah, my name is Ron. R-O-N.
I'm Ron.
Yeah, hi.
Do you all have questions for Ron before?
You working in April, right?
Sorry?
You working in SG Enable?
Yes, I work in SG Enable. Yeah.
Good. So what do you do there?
So my team works on projects with different organizations. So we look into how to make the products and services more accessible for persons with disabilities. So I do a lot of engagement with different organizations
Wow, excellent. So you did many activity.
Sorry, I couldn't catch you.
Do you do any activity for your fashionist?
Yeah, so we work on different activities. Yeah, so my team is always very busy. I always have a lot of different ideas. So so I always tell my team that I have a lot of ideas, so they need to work on it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And camping, camping. So you did activity. So do you want me to work on this? Then I want to coming.
Yeah. So that's why I was talking to Ping An to see what are the different work we can do in future. So once we agree on project, then we can work on it together. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So it is that I like inclusion for everybody. I like inclusion.
Inclusion. I like
Yes.
inclusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It means I respect you, you respect me.
Yeah, that's right.
It means I respect you and you respect me. Ellen, can you write that down, please?
Oh yes, I can do that.
Yeah, can you do that? Yeah.
Yes.
Can you summarize today's meeting, Ellen?
Well, actually, today's meeting is very good. I can learn more to one Natasha at IPN. We like today's meeting because this meeting teaches me to be an adult. That's all. I know.
Very good summary, Ellen. Respect, huh? And teach you to be an adult, huh?
Adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasha, any other comments? Try something. What comes to your mind after you listen? Quite a long listening, you know. Thank you for.
Well, I do agree with Ellen. And that's helped me. And that's helped me learn more things as an adult. Really does this session.
Yeah. How is it helping you to learn as an adult?
When I'm learning more to do more things, as in I am learning to do more things now. I don't know how to explain myself.
How you explain yourself? Yeah. What else? What else? What else are you doing that you're learning?
When I think, as I said before, I am learning about the Microsoft and everything. Excel, Word document, PowerPoint. So in that way, I am getting better at it.
So now all these tools, all these IT tools have a relevance, right? And the things that you can apply it to, right? At a work setting. What Ellen is saying is respect, right? Respect. Ellen, you're getting respect, right?
Yes,
from all these opportunities. You say that a few times, you know, Ellen. Why is it so important? Why is this different from the other work that you've been doing?
I think to respect all in the community. There is.
Respect all in the community. So we have to respect all in the community. This is guiding.
But I can work respect with my mother at home.
You can work in your home with your mother. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can go home.
Can you write an essay on respect, Ellen?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah. Add that to the tree. I think you keep saying that. It's very good. Respect for your mother at home, right?
Wow.
So it's community about respect, Ellen.
Wow.
Is community really about as simple as respect?
Yes, somebody is respect.
Respect for each other. That's it. That's all we have to do, right? So
Yes,
BB Lighthouse is a
respect
place
others,
of
so that
respect.
everybody can be kind, can be helpful. Do not be shouting,
Say that again. You can be.
so that we can be helpful, so that we can be polite, but no need to shout at others.
So helpful, polite, and no need to shout. No need to shout at others. Why do you think people shout at others, Ellen?
What?
Why do you think people shout at others? What happens to them? What happens to them that they?
People shout at others is not good because if something it makes people upset,
So it's a self-control. It's really about self-control.
Always do 3 things you go shout,
Do 3 things. What are the 3 things?
That means 3 things cause you can is shouting, also be happy, and also calm down,
Calm down. So number 1 is what? Number 1 is what?
Number 1 is number 1 is always count to 10.
Always
count to 10.
Always count to 10.
To calm
Always
down.
count to 10. Be happy and calm down. These are the rules.
Yeah,
These are the rules. Can you write down the rules, please?
Yes, sir.
I love it. Yeah. Can you write it all down? Okay. Then we can. Oh, Natasha, you have something else to say? No. Okay. Wow. Oh, this is a very fruitful meeting, Ron. We hope. Sorry, we've taken quite a bit of your time.
Yeah, I've reserved until 6 o'clock anyway.
Wow, so
I've blocked
sweet of
my
you.
time. Yeah.
Thank you. How do you feel joining us today?
Yeah, so I thought the plans that you have is really very exciting. And like I shared, the stewardship, the youth stewardship and apprenticeship like Alan and Natasha is really the engine that will really be a key part of bringing the plans for the next few years. Yeah,
Okay.
so it really depends on their energy.
So
to bring this through.
less about the what, right?
Yeah.
Less about the what and let them drive it, huh?
Correct. Yeah. Like,
so let's do that. Thank
like you said in the beginning, it's really about adapting along the way. It's not really have a concrete plan, but it's really adapting along the way.
So today, our first day of this Emergencing BB LightHouses, we have pulled out adapting, how to be an adult, and let the youth lead us. You like that? Let the youth steward us. How's that? Huh?
That's good.
That's good, huh? So it's adapting. So how to be an adult. Wait, did I get the sequence correct? You don't really go and write down this thing and lock it down, This is how this thing works. Say you must do already.
Yeah.
So Alan, Tasha, which way around? And Ron, which way around? Which is number 1? Let the youth steward us is number 1.
Natasha, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So the voice and participation of the youth, right? Okay. Let the youth steward us and let us trust you. Okay. And then what is number 2? Then only you can be an adult, right? Because I have to give you the trust. We have to give you the trust so that you can become an adult. Okay. And then the C is let's adapt together, right? Adapting it together. You want to do it by yourself, or do you all want us to help, be part of it?
I don't know. I really don't.
What is your preference, Ellen? Do you want to just do it all by yourself?
Yes, I
Huh?
can.
You prefer to do it, the youth prefer to do it by yourselves.
Yes, I can for myself. I can do that for youth as well.
But this BB Lighthouse, you know, what does it
that-
look like? It's not going to be Auntie Pingan doing it, right?
Right.
Auntie Pingan has done it for many, many years, right?
Even if I want to help youth to do everything, writing, typing, the order,
Wow, writing, typing.
and writing, the part of able,
Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it like this, huh? Let the youth steward us. Okay, so this is all about trust, because we can. Okay, how to be an adult? I got do more things. Okay.
Yeah, to do more things.
Yeah. Respect all in the community and also at home. Okay, maybe at home first and then the community, and then you want to help others. Okay, Ellen, I think where you are driving it at and that's the thrust of our youth stewardship program is also service, solidarity in service, right? So it's help others. Ellen and Tasha, can you write down all those things that you feel you can help the other youth stewards or the other youths need this kind of help? Okay, or children. Remember what Uncle Colin said? You can teach the younger children because they all have walked through the journey. You know where are the areas that are still missing in community, and where the families and the children or the students or the teachers or the parents need help. You write it down, okay? Can you do that? Yeah?
Yeah.
That means the areas where we can help others, okay? Areas where we can help others, okay? And then I think the third part is, I think, in the humility that we will learn is that we will need everybody to do it together. Although you have all the ideas, when you do it together, the joy is actually in doing it together. So the adapting requires doing it together, and the moral courage to do what is right. Okay. So I'm going to add that in there in the third part. If that's okay, what do you think?
I think it's good. See what able this has,
Huh?
This is what able this has,
This is why.
This is why able this has,
That is why SG Enable needs us. You know.
Very good ending point for the meeting.
Yes.
Very good ending line.
Yes. Ron, do you have something? Now you have the message to take back.
Yeah.
To you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for today's meeting. It's very, very heartening and very, very fruitful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks,
Take care.
Peng An, Ellen, Natasha. Bye. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good job, everybody. Bye.
Bye.